Hey there. It's been a while since I've done this kind of, solo one-on-one kind of videos. Um, Again, it's that time of the year, time of the Force of Will. It's pre-release, and so I've been doing these kind of pre-release videos since Ancient Knights, and they go over pretty well. Been kind of trying to get them shorter and shorter because I want to get all the information to you guys so that you don't have to go through an hour worth of bullshit. And so this will probably be an hour worth of bullshit, but hopefully I'll try and get it down to like 20 minutes or something. I'm gonna try and focus in more on like some of the cards you should not draft. Some of the cards you might see in your pool that you might want to play around. Some of the bombs of When's the Ominous Moon, and what cards I think are going to be pretty good, and what you should watch out for also. I'm not going to do usually I do hey, these are what some of the combat tricks are going to be, and then kind of, I don't know, ruler breakdowns and stuff, and what I think the strongest color is. But I'm just going to kind of talk about I think it's mainly going to be based on what cards I think are really good. So I'm just going to start with Crimea. I think he's a pretty good resonator. I should probably go over what their stats are. So he's a 5 cost 12/12. If your life is 2,000 or less, you may pay 3 less to play this card. This makes him really nice in those late game scenarios. He can come back and just really be great again. If you're behind. So you can remove an aura in your graveyard from the game. This card gains flying, drain, and barrier until end of turn. Now this is just amazing. If you do have some aura support, he has the ability to just go off and do some really, really great stuff. He gets to fly over. He has barrier, so nothing will be able to touch him. There's nothing in this set, I believe, that destroys with board wipe. There's stuff that bounces with board wipe, which you could maybe see, but probably not. But there's nothing that targets that would kill him. The only board wipe we have is an 800 damage one right now, so that wouldn't even hit him, wouldn't even scar him. So it's also not Quickcast, so yeah. So this guy could be an absolute beast. If you get him, he's one of the really strong. There's a cycle of these. It's Crimea. Oh my gosh, Crimea, Aliceris? No, it's Crimea, Welser, Dragonlord, Ragnarok, and I forget what the darkness one is. And the blue one is Aliceris, but I don't think he's very good. So, but if you have any of those guys, look out for them. They're really, really good. So I'm gonna keep going on. This is going to be the same order as the article that I put up on our website, tcgscrubs.com. So if you guys want to just cut through all the bullshit, just go there, and I kind of do little blurbs about why I think these are really good. So next we got Aura of Hope. It's a 1 cost, quick cast, res target, Jade Resonator. I mean, it's just pretty good. It stalls out, it lets you get past blockers. It lets you attack into stuff and kill it. I mean, it's just a solid card. The other one that untaps resonators is also just really good. Resuscitating will, I'll go over that later. But I mean, both of those are just strong. They're just pretty strong. Next, we're gonna look at Spirit Searching. It's a chant, spirit magic. Search your deck for a chant, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So I like this card because there's not a whole lot of tutors in limited and sealed. So if you get this, you kind of have to pair it with a really strong other chant. So for example, if you need a tutor for board wipe, you have the 800 damage board wipe. This can get you anything. It can get you any of those really good chants that you need to win the game, or do whatever you need to do. So that's the only really reason I like it. A lot of tutor options in sealed. Some people might not really play them because you only have 20 cards, so you might not want to you know, go after these, which, you know, that's perfectly reasonable. I can kind of agree with that with that logic. So I think Spirit Searching is pretty decent as long as you can pair it with something else. That's good. A good, you know, chant game finisher. There's not a whole lot of great chants in this set. But, you know, there's a couple things that are nice. So next there's Black Leaf. And these are in no particular order. Well, the order they're in was the order they came out in spoilers, because I was writing them down as they kind of were coming out. So Blackleaf, I like Blackleaf. It's pretty okay. I just like it because, you know, I really value like removal, and I think this guy like is like removal on a body, which I think is really nice. You know, he's so banishes card, target J Resonator gains -4/-4 until end of turn, and then you can use Inheritance, target J Resonator gains -2/-2 until end of turn. Now it also kind of works as a combat trick, which, I mean, that's okay. I like it for the -4/-4. It hits some, you know, early cost stuff, and it's okay. You know, if you do have him out, whenever you attack in, you're always going to have that ability to sack him, which, you know, could lead to, you know, tricking out your opponent, getting an extra damage where, you know, you wouldn't have before. You know, if you attack one of the 6/6 and your opponent has a 7/7, like, they're not going to block because they know this guy's here. They know he's coming. He's on the field. So, you know, there's some tricky stuff you can do with that. Bluffs, really. Next, we have Dark Bokoro. He's a 0/10, 2 cost. Your opponent pays 1 more to play Chance during your turn. So this guy is pretty decent. He's just kind of like a wall that helps protect your guys on your turn. I mean, he's just going to be annoying to your opponent, you know, 1 more to play to try and kill stuff, or, you know, quick cast. Like, he kind of protects against a lot of like combat tricks and stuff. So next we have Kintaro. He's a 2 cost 6/6 Fairy Tale Precision. When this card enters the field, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each Fairy Tale and non-Fairy Tale beast you control. So if you draft some beasts, like, this guy could get really big. He does count himself when he enters, so my thinking is that he's going to be a 7/7 for 2, and those stat lines are like really, really nice. So he's going to be able to beat out pretty much any other 2-drop that other people are playing. I mean, you know, if you have 2 Fairy Tales or a beast and him out, like, you could drop this guy and he'll be an 8/8, which I've always said, like, a 3 cost 8/8 is really valuable to play in limited. So, like, this guy would be, you know, this card would be really, really nice for that. He can get really big. He's really cheap, and, you know, I find limited is like can be really resonator heavy. So if you have the better resonators, you're gonna end up, you know, being able to trade more, attack more, and just do more. So next we have probably, I think, the coolest, most badass card in the set, Dragonlord Ragnarok. He's 6 mana, 15/15, flying dragon. When this card enters the field, if it is played from your hand, reveal cards from the top of your deck until you choose to stop, or until you reveal 2 cards that share a name. Then put all revealed cards into your hand. Oh boy, these are so tiny. Discard 7 cards, destroy target non-magic stone entity. Okay, that was terrible to read. I should probably have had these guys up as a list. I'm going through my article. But the cool thing about this guy is he's just the bombiest bomb in the set, I think. He's a big fatty with flying. He's giant. He's the biggest resonator you know in the set. So like he's gonna win any fights he takes. He just, like, as soon as you drop him, you're instantly up on card advantage. Like he basically refreshes your hand back to 7, especially in a set like this where you're not gonna hit 2 cards with the same name very easily. So you're probably gonna draw as many cards as you want. The thing is, he is a tiny bit limited because you might not be able to draw enough cards to discard 7. Cause like discard 7 cards to destroy something is really strong. Like the ideal scenario, like in maybe a different deck or in, for example, epic stories, is like you play this guy, you draw a ton of cards, and then you just chuck stuff and you just blow stuff up. In limited, you can't really do that. You're limited to 20 cards. You can go over, but if you have this guy, maybe go like 23, 24, so that when you draw, you can draw multiples of 7. But the idea is like you're only gonna have, if you have a 20 card deck, you only will be able to ditch 14 cards. Otherwise, you know, so you're only gonna be able to activate his effect 2 times. You just don't have enough cards to activate it 3 times. So that's, you know, 3 times 7 is 21. So he's a little limited in like his removal ability, but I do think it's, you know, he's really strong. Like if you drop him onto like an open field and you need to squeeze past a blocker, you can do that. There's just a lot of really nice stuff you can do. He can kill J rulers, so you know, if your opponent has J activated and you know it's being pesky with the 10-10, just kill it off. Overall, he's really amazing. And you know, even just with the 15/15 body with flying is just amazing. The card, really though, it's a card potential draw that he gives you. Like if you play this guy and have mana left over, and you know you just need to like search through your deck, just keep drawing until you get that card and then play it. Like he's like essentially like a tutor. Just make sure you can win before you deck yourself out, because it would be very easy to deck yourself out with this guy. Anyways, probably the best card in the set, I think. If you get him, I would 100% play him. You're probably going to see him in 20 cards, and you're probably going to see him because of the way, you know, games naturally play out in limited. Like, you get to 6 mana much easier. So, next we have Glint of Insight. It's okay. It's strong discard, but, you know, kind of weak and sealed. Mystery counters are going to kind of be hard to, you know, get going. In order to get 2 mystery counters, you need to deactivate your Butler, J ruler, or I mean, there's like one other way, maybe 2. But the main problem I think with this card, and the reason I'm actually, I was kind of joking around, and you probably shouldn't play this card, because you need to name a card when you play it, and it's going to be really hard to actually name cards in a pre-release set, because nobody's going to know what all the cards are and what all the cards do. You know, you can't play this and say, you know what, I wanna see, I'm gonna say the +6/+6 green 1 cost ability. Oh, I don't know what its name is. Oh no, you know, or like, oh, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play, you know, the Lord of Dragon Ragnarok, or you know, or just say Dragonlord Ragnarok, and that's not his full name. His full name is something like, it's like Unyielding Dragonlord. It's the Unyielding Dragonlord Ragnarok. So like that's not even his name, you know. And sure, maybe, you know, it's pre-release, maybe the opponent will go like, oh, that's close enough, you're fine, but probably not. So just be very careful if you're playing Glint of Insight. Make sure you know what the actual card names are. You know, you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna name Silvia. Like technically you have to name, you know, Pial's Cook Silvia. Which leads us to our next card, Pial's Cook Silvia. Hey. She's a 2 cost 0/6. Oh boy, how's it affect? Oh, when this card enters the field at the beginning of your turn, if there are no counters on this card, put a cooking counter on it. Otherwise, remove all cooking counters from this card and put that many spoiled food counters on it or something. Remove a cooking counter from this card. Another target J Resonator gains +4/+4 until end of turn. Remove a spoiled cooking counter from this card. Another target J Resonator gains -4/-4 until end of turn. So I think this is just like a good engine. Like you play her out and she's gonna just start giving you value based on her, you know, eventually. Like you're gonna be buffing other things for free. You're gonna be, you know, pinging. You can ping stuff down for -4/-4 for free. You know, attacking into stuff. You have the potential to like swing these like huge these fights in your favor. You know, the same idea with the Dark Leaf. I don't remember if that's what it's called, but it gives you like Dark Leaf gets -4/-4, and now, you know, or you know, so like there's always this threat. Like if I have Silvia out and I attack with my 6/6, he's gonna be a 10/10 if you block him. So there's a lot of good like combat tricks. This person comes out and basically threatens every attack you do. Is this you know, oh, I can buff this guy +4/+4. And if he doesn't block, oh, I swing in with this other 4/4. Oh, he doesn't block that guy because, you know, he's scared. Oh, you know, oh, I attack with this other 2/2. And, you know, they don't want to block those because they're going to lose that fight, that engage. So, really good combat trick. I think she just starts paying for herself very easily. Really good. I think she should be very good. Next we have Red Leaf. 2 cost 6/6. Banish this card. It deals 500 damage to target Jade Resonator. Inheritance 1. This card deals 300 damage to target Jade Resonator. I like this. It's okay. It's a body that burns stuff and is extra removal. And I always think you should put removal in your deck. So, speaking of it, removal. Kaiser Phoenix. He's a 3 cost. Oh my gosh. It's so difficult to see on this article. Like, ugh. Oh boy. I should redo this article so you can read it. I might do that. It's a chant, battle arts. Quickcast. This card deals 1000 damage to target Jade Resonator. If that card would be put into a graveyard from the field, this turn, remove it from the game instead. Awakening, remove 7 strength counters? I think it's 7. I'm trying to remember what these are. Okay, this is much easier to read. Sorry guys, I'm doing some things. Remove 7 strength counters from your J ruler. Put this card into its owner's hand as it resolves. Remove 10 strength counters from your J ruler. Put target resonator from a graveyard that was put into that zone from the field this turn into the field. So the second part is very iffy. Like, yeah, it can happen, and you know, it'd be pretty good. It's like a pseudo play dead, which is really nice. The good thing about this, I think, is that it's 10 damage. It's cheap enough to be playable. It kills J rulers, right? Yeah, it kills J rulers, and it you know, it gets rid of any like pesky go into the graveyard effects. But really, I really like the card advantage it gives you if you awaken it with the 7 strength counters. Like, it lets you play it, awaken it, and then put it back in your hand, and then play it again, which is, you know, card advantage is going to be really nice in limited. Removal is going to be really nice in limited. So overall, this is just really, really good for both of those. I think it's even playable without any of that and just for the 1000 damage, because any removal is good removal. That's my thinking. So next we have Burnt Cooking. Target J Resonator gains +4/-4, I think. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to start looking up all these cards. Burnt Cooking. Okay, target J Resonator gains +4/-4 until end of turn. If it's a Dragonlord, it gains +4/+4 instead. Puts 3 strength counters on your J ruler. So I like this card. It's more removal for things that have 400, you know, defense. It's a buff for things that have 400 or more defense, because, you know, you can squeeze through damage. So it pumps. If you have a Dragonlord, it's just gravy all around. So I think it's good, worth taking a look at. It's nice. Next, you have Resuscitating Will. 1 cost. What's an aura? Recover target J Resonator. It's amazing in limit and sealed, honestly. Like, being able to attack twice is always something that's going to be really nice. That's, I think, its main draw is, like, if you can get damage through, you know, you can hit once and then you can attack again as soon as you recover it. So yeah, you can, like, if you have something tapped, you can recover it to block again. It's just, so there's a lot of good stuff you can do there too, but mainly the attacking twice is, ooh, really nice. Okay, we have Life or Death Struggle. 2 cost. Each player discards a card, then each player banishes the resonator with the highest cost among resonators you control. This is basically Soul Debt. It's okay. I think it's good removal, but I mean, you end up, if you don't have anything out, you end up like winning the exchange. If you have something out that's low cost and they have something that's high cost, you end up winning the exchange there. You know, if you don't end up having a hand. So there's a lot of spots where this is going to be really strong. The best part is that it removes the highest cost resonator, which Soul Debt just, you know, didn't do. It made them, this bypasses barrier also, which handful of things have barriers, so it might be a good idea to take a look at it. I definitely think it's at least playable. Pretty good. Next we have Welser. He is a 6 cost resonator. His ability is whenever you play a chant, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once per turn. He's a 14/14, which is pretty big. God's Art Grand Entrance, 2 red. Reveal this card from your hand. Put this card from your hand into the field. At the next end of your opponent's turn, remove this card from the game. Play this ability only during your turn. So this card I really like, because being able to copy chants will be really strong once you have him out. Hopefully you have some decent chants. So I also like this card because it's just a big resonator. You know, it's a 14/14. It's the God's Art is really nice for niche situations. He's just really good. Welser's a good bomb. So yeah, I definitely recommend playing him. He's pretty amazing. I like him a lot. Next we have Honorable Thief Guildmaster. Is it member? I think it's member. Anyways, she is a 4 cost 9/10. At the beginning of your turn, you gain 100 life for each card in your hand. She's okay. The main thing is that she's super janky and just stall the hell out of games. So that's something you might want to think about doing, right? If you have her, just make like a 30 card deck or something. Play her and then just try and stall out until you deck your opponent out. And then that'll be game 1, and you'll draw game 2, and then you'll win overall. So that's my scumbag tip for the day. You know, on top of that, I'm gonna skip ahead to another janky card, Zhang Zhang. So Zhang Zhang is a hero prince, holy prince. He's an 8/8, 3 cost panda. When this card enters the field, reveal any number of pandas from your hand. You gain 200 life for each card revealed this way. It's pretty good. Whenever you gain life, you may banish a light gem. If you do, this card deals damage to target resonator equal to the amount of life you gained. Now, I think that's pretty good. He pings stuff down as it comes in, which is great. He's costed excellently. Like 8/8s are fairly rare in limited. There are actually more 8/8s in this set than I think in any other set that we've had so far. Like, you know, per set, like per card per set. So like those 2 effects are great. His God's Art is 4, 5, 6, 7 cost. Your life becomes 4,000. So, you know, if you are behind, you can drop this guy and, you know, reset your life, like blank out aggro. I mean, I know gaining life doesn't win you games, but it sure as hell makes it frustrating. And if you play this guy and you play the Honorable Thief Guild Master, and then you just put 30 cards in your deck, you're gonna deck them out. So that's the real play. That's the play right there. I swear to God, if somebody does this and like gets like tops or something, like I would love to see somebody like win game 1 because their opponent decks out every single round until they just win their whole pre-release. I'll bow down. I don't know. That'd just be amazing. Just please tell me if something like that happens, because that'd be so fucking funny. Okay, next we have Arrival of the Hero. It's a 2 cost Quickcast. I like this card. Quickcast, if you control a J ruler, you may pay 2 less to play this card, so you know it's free if you're J activated. Choose 1, prevent all damage that would be dealt to resonators you control until end of turn, or destroy target rested resonator. Now this is really good. It has a lot of options. It saves your guys. It saves all of your guys, you know, from damage. And you know, you can get past blockers. It's like amazing removal. It's like Zero's Magic Light if you if you didn't play Zero. Except, you know, it doesn't remove from game, but it also gets to protect your guys, which this card is really good. It's maybe one of the better removals among the whole in the whole set, maybe the best. I don't know, but it's just it's really good, absolutely amazing. Next we have what I think is probably the second most underrated card in the set, Adam's Psycho card. I don't know, the Envoy of Valhalla. This guy, it's a 3 cost 0/10 rabbit. He can't attack or block, but at the beginning of your main phase, you may remove target non-Magic Stone, non-J-Ruler entity from the game. Now, this guy, if he spends, 2 to 3 turns, you've pretty much won the game at that point. He just starts killing stuff. Like, you play him, and he's pretty hard to remove in this format. Like, there's not a lot of stuff that kills him. Not a lot of stuff. So you play him out, he just sits there, and then next turn, you just boom, he kills something off. Next turn, boom, he kills something else off. He kills the biggest thing they have. This guy is an absolute beast. I think maybe the best removal if you can stick him down. And after a couple turns, you're just going to run away with the game because he's just going to kill stuff every turn. It's like a 3-cost edition that just said, like, destroy target resonator every turn at the beginning of your main phase. That's insane. That's so strong. So definitely, if you get Adam, I would play him so hard. Like, oh my god. If you just play him. Just play him, early enough in the game or even late game. Like, you just play him late game, and after like 3 turns where they're top decking or you're both top decking, you just win. If you're in a stalled board state, just wait like 3 more turns, and eventually that board state's not going to be stalled. It's going to be wide open. He busts games wide open. So, oh yeah, no, he's amazing. He's amazing and sealed. Yeah, he can get removed, but there's, like I said, there's not a whole lot of stuff that actually kills him. Like, he's big enough that he survives a bunch of stuff. There's Kaiser Phoenix, which will kill him. So there is stuff that will remove him and will kill him, which is why, if you can bait out removal, do it. If you have this guy in like your opening hand, bait out as much removal as you can, because he is a game-winning play. As soon as you play him and your opponent doesn't have answers for 3-4 turns, it's gonna be hard for them to come back from that. That's just nasty. He's so good. Okay. Let's look at Hoel Pig Squadron, and he's got a lot of text too, so I need to open him up. He's a 3-cost 8/8, which is brilliantly costed. He's 3 red, which is a little restrictive, but you're in sealed, so maybe you can swing it with your J-Ruler's ability to mana fix yourself. He's iffy. Swiftness Precision. When this card is put into a graveyard from the field, search your deck for a card named Hoel Pig. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. His second Adary effect will not activate. So that sucks. There's like 1 or 2 cards. Well, you know what? So I just think 3 costs, 8/8 Swift and Precision is really strong. He can actually attack into stuff also. So super good, super decent card. If less 3 costs were 8/8s, he'd be a lot weaker, or a lot stronger. But he's a little bit weaker because there's so many 8/8 costed 3 cost cards. So, speaking of like things just not working, I just want to bring up Ground and Air Supremacy. This is kind of an issue I have with this set and with I think the last set and the set before that was okay, but this set and Time Spinning Witch was kind of iffy on this. So Ground and Air Supremacy. It's a 1 cost. Its effect is, here you are. As an additional cost to play this card, remove 5 strength counters from your J-Ruler. Choose 1. Search your deck for a card named Pial Eli, the Flaming Fist, and put it into the field. Then shuffle your deck. Or this card deals 1,000 damage to target J-Resonator if you control Pial Eli, the Flaming Fist. So this card does not work in Limited. It doesn't. You can't search your deck for that. It doesn't work. So, and that's something I've been really frustrated with this set and the past set. Like, they've been less focused on the Limited format. Like, it's been weak. Like, last set we had legend cards where they don't activate. They're just vanilla, 3 costs or, dolls. Like, dolls were shit because most of the dolls. Like, you couldn't activate their legend ability. Cards with legend ability, you could not activate those cards either. So this is just a big issue I have. Like, you shouldn't get this in your sealed pool, and like, it's an uncommon, so it's not going to be everywhere, but like, it's so bad to pull this. and it doesn't do anything for you. You can't play this card in limited. It is absolute trash. It's fucking amazing and constructed. Like, it's gonna be broken, probably. Maybe, you know, maybe not broken, but it'll be very good. So it's just so bad in limited. Don't play it, but keep it because, you know, it's gonna be pretty good. Next we have Rey the Black Owl and his flip side 0. So Rey the Black Owl is a 5/7. He's a beast. This card cannot be attacked at the beginning of your main phase. Invert this card. I like this card because it's big enough. Like, it dodges a lot of stuff, a lot of removal, and it's really nice. And his flip side is 0. 8/9. I love 0. I love her. She's probably one of my favorite cards of all time. But she has flying. Entities you control gain whenever this card is targeted by a spell or ability. Cancel that spell or ability. This ability triggers only once per turn. So I love her because she's a 2 cost. She flips into an 8/9, which is brilliant. Like, great cost. She's flying, and she protects everything you have. She protects everything you have for at least one ability, a spell or ability, which, let's be honest, like in limited, they're not going to try and hit your guy with 2 removals in a row. Like, that's just probably not going to happen. And if it does, then that guy had a bonkers sealed pool, and it sucks. But, good card. Really good card. Next, we have Sicilian Tia. 4 cost, 10/10, Elf Resonator. She has green. This card deals 100 damage to target J Resonator, and she can tap to recover 2 target magic stones. Now, I really like this in limited because you're going to have leftover mana. And so it's really great because, like, she can just ping down small stuff. She can ping down big stuff if you're not using the will. You know, it's just, you're going to have leftover will. And the nice thing is, like, you can ping stuff, and then you can tap her and recover more stuff and ping it again. So, like, nice, good card. I like her in limited. She's could be very good, and her stats are really nice too. Next, we have Beyond the Threshold of Time. It's okay. It's one void, 1 green, and 1 blue. Draw a card. Put the top card of your Magic Stone deck into the field. So you draw a card and you ramp up your mana. It's just a little nice, you know, nice boost for you. Next, a card I really like, Every Last Ounce of Strength. It's a 3 black, so it's a little limited, but draw 3 cards, you lose 600 life. Now, I really like this because it gets your engine back up and moving. And, like, drawing 3 cards for 3 mana is really nice. It's a very good effect for just 1 card. Excuse me. So I think this is a pretty good card. Next, we have Naughty Childs Chastising. 2 cost, Quickcast. Destroy target resonator that is attacking you. You gain life equal to its attack. Similar to Arrival of the Hero, this is just really good removal. It's very similar to Miscalculation, except you gain life, and in limited, it's great. It's super good removal. Great card to play. Next, we have a super good card, Vice Leader of the Chivalrous Thieves, Blazer. He's a 3 cost, 7/8, so, you know, a little, one lower on the attack stat, but that's okay. Things that are 8/8 are going to be able to block him and kill him, but that's good. You don't attack with him. So, because his effect is at the beginning of your main phase, draw a card, and this is really amazing. Like, similar to Adam, if he sticks onto your field for a couple turns, like, you're just gonna out card advantage the other guy. You know what? I just realized, be careful you don't deck yourself out, because it's not a mandatory. You may draw a card. You have to draw a card. So just be very careful you don't deck yourself out to the guy who's playing Zhang and the honorable guild member thief, who, you know, is just gaining life and you can't beat him, and then he just leaves your blazer out there because eventually you're gonna kill yourself. So be very careful of that. Make sure you've got, I don't know, whatever thing you're trying to win with, because you could deck yourself out very easily with this card. So, you know, I realized on the article I said with no downside. He has a downside, and it's decking yourself out. I just realized. Poor guy. Next, I have probably my second favorite character, Gil. Inheritor of the Stars, Gil Lapis. I love this card. I love this guy. He's a 4-cost, 10/10, green-black. He's a vampire, human guardian, flying with barrier. Really nice. This card cannot be cancelled if it doesn't matter. At the beginning of your main phase, put a mystery counter on your J Ruler. He's like one of the only mystery counter generators. It's kind of ridiculous, especially because he doesn't really use them. So, remove an elemental in your graveyard from the game. Produce green, black, blue, red, or all one of 5 colors. Put a +1/+1 counter on this card. Play this ability only once per turn. Now, I think this guy could be really, like, if he gets big enough, he can just run away with games. Like, he could theoretically, probably won't happen, but he could get bigger than Dragonlord Ragnarok. And then he could beat him up because he has barrier, and Dragonlord Ragnarok doesn't have barrier. So, really nice card. I think he's a great bomb. He's always protected. He can get bigger if you have synergy with elementals, and there's a lot of elementals, so you're probably going to pull a handful of them. So, yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. I love this card in Constructing. I love this card in Limited, so play him. Next we have probably, I think like low key, maybe like one of the best cards in Limited. It's Earthquake Observer. I don't even need to bring him up. Whenever your opponent plays a chant, this card gains +2/+2 and barrier until end of turn. So the thing about this guy is, like, he's very well costed. He's an 8/8, which means his stats are really nice. You know, they're perfectly in line with three costs. The thing I like the most about this guy is that he is almost immune to, like, silly combat tricks. Like, if your opponent wants to destroy him, he, like, as soon as they play that chant to target him, bam, he gains barrier. Like, he dodges the only board wipe in the set, Eruption, because they play Eruption, it deals 800 damage, but he gets a +2/+2 buff, so he's gonna survive with +2/+2. You know, he's gonna survive with 200 defense, and then, you know, you can't really ping him down because he's just observing your Earthquake and he doesn't care. So he's awesome. I really like him. He can die. You know, it's not like he's immune to combat tricks. Like, if you attack into like a 7/7 and they play, just like give him like +4/+4 or something, like, he's still gonna die to that because he's only gaining +2/+2. So I love him. I think he would be really underappreciated, and I think he's gonna be really strong card. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. So, next we have the only board wipe in the set that actually, you know, deals damage and stuff. Eruption, 3-cost chant. This card deals 800 damage to each J/Resonator. I like this a lot. It hits pretty much every 3 costs in the format, besides Earthquake Observer. A couple of things are just out of range, like, you know, Gil Lapis. You know, a couple of the other 10/10s, J Rulers are just out of range. They're gonna survive with 200 defense. So. And I love board wipe. I love it. It's awesome. So, next we have Drifting Little Moon. It's a 1-cost blue, 5/5. This card cannot attack, which is fine. You can tap it. For this card, deals 400 damage to target rested Resonator. And you rest 4 of them to do something, but you're not gonna have 4, so don't worry about it. Now, I like this card because it's almost like Artemis Bow. You know, it's like a 1-cost blue Artemis Bow, and I like it. I like it a lot. I really like it. So, yeah, it's cool. Next we have Meditation, 4-cost. It's our other board wipe. Quickcast, rest all Resonators. Oh my gosh, that rests all Resonators. I didn't realize that when I read the article. So you can't, like, attack into blocks. I guess you can play this before you untap your cards. Which, you know, so you can play this, rest all Resonators, and then untap your guys. But it's good. It's good. It's really good. Like, it stalls out. It's basically board wipe, pseudo board wipe. So I think it's nice. Next we have the Dragonlord's Breath. 1-cost, quick cast, return target Resonator with total cost 3 or less to its owner's hand. I doubt you'll be able to play the Awakenings, but they're pretty good. Awakening for 1 time will, draw a card, and for 2 time will, you can put target resonator on the bottom of its owner's deck instead of, you know, actually you get to do both, so that's really nice. If you play it and you awaken them, you can return target resonator to cost 3 or less, and you get to put another target resonator on the bottom of its owner's deck. So it's a really good 2-for-1, and you get to draw a card off of it. So this card is super, you know, valuable. Like, it can be really good. Very similar to Shale's Return, where you bounce something that's cost 4 or less. So I like it a lot. Yeah. Next we have Lorite's 7 Disciples. 3 cost, 7/7. I like this card. He's not going to be able to get any of the synergy, but when he enters a field or at the beginning of your main phase, he either gains +2/+2, swiftness, flying, first strike, precision, drain, or barrier until end of turn. If you control Lorite, he gains all of those, but you don't. So he will gain one of them when he enters the field, which is probably going to be swiftness, because you can actually attack. So like, I like that it's a 3 cost 7/7 with swiftness right out the gate. On consecutive turns, you get to buff him up with like +2/+2, so it's a 9/9. You get to give him flying. You get to give him precision if you need to kill something, or drain if you need, you know, or barrier if you think they're gonna shoot you with something. Just, I like how versatile he is after he hits the floor. Like, he hits the floor running, and then he just starts like gaining buffs every turn. So like, I like him. I like him a lot. I think he could be really scary. So, Essence of the Void, 3 cost, 8/8. You know, this is what I'm talking about. Like, stuff does have 800 attack and defense, and a lot of 3 costs are getting up to that, you know, stat line. It's a little like power creep, but not really. So, it's a Cthulhu. When this card enters the field, destroy target damage resonator. So, I like him. He's big. He's got a body, and he can kill stuff. Really nice card. Sleeping Vampire. He's a 3/4. Pretty nice, I think. At the beginning of your main phase, this card gains +2/+0 and flying until end of turn. So I like that. Like, this is just really strong. It's a really strong 1-drop, in my opinion. You know, you play this at the beginning of the game, and he just starts kind of coming online turn 2 and just keeps attacking. You know, hopefully your opponent doesn't play flyers, but I just think he's really solid right out the gate. I think he'd be a really scary turn 1 play. Ooh, and last we have Dragon Hunter. He's a 3 cost, 6/10, resonated Dragonoid. I did pick the regular version of this, not the variant, because I think he's a little better, but there's a variant, right? I don't remember. Anyways, doesn't matter. Swifted Precision. If this card would deal damage to a dragon or beast, it deals double that much instead. So, you know, he's able to, like, he could be really strong in this limited format, because there's a lot of beasts and there's, you know, a handful of dragons. So maybe just 1 dragon. Is it just Dragonlord Ragnarok that's a dragon in this set? I think it is. Anyways, irregardless, 6/10 I think is pretty big. Love the swiftness. I love things with swiftness on them. I love that he can, you know, target things with precision, and I love that he is very, very, you know, he's a counter to like beasts and stuff, and there's a decent amount of beasts in here. So I really like a lot of these cards, you know, that I just went over. There's a lot more cards you can play. As always, you know, there's a handful of like Thunderstorm stuff that really could be good, or, you know, mystery counter stuff that could be good. I need to stress this every time I do these pre-list videos, because a lot of what you have in your pool, you're going to have to play with. You're not going to have the best resonators. You're probably not going to have 5 of these cards that I listed. And even if you do have 5 of these cards that I listed, it's not like you're going to win the game off of them. You know, if you have Resuscitating Will, you know, let's say you have like Resuscitating Will, the Dragonlord's Breath, and Aura of Hope, and I don't know, Beyond the Threshold of Time. Like, those are all decent cards in their own right. But those aren't, you know, none of those are bombs. None of those 4 are going to win. So, like, don't look at this list and look at Aura of Hope and be like, oh, man, I have Aura of Hope, you know, that's going to be way, way strong. No, it's just a decent card. It's not going to be a bomb. It's not going to win you the game. There are cards in here in the list that are going to win you the game. And I kind of, you know, try to express more feeling for those cards, and and like tell you guys which cards I think could win you the game. So gosh, I'm rambling. This is how I get my videos to 1 hour. I just keep rambling on. I keep talking about pre-release and stuff like that. So I don't know, they're more 3-cost 8/8s. There's just in general limited sealed stuff. Try and get removal. Try and get combat tricks, because those are gonna get you to trade efficiently. Try and get burn, so you can like ping stuff down. Try not to get 2-for-1. That sucks. And above all, kind of have fun. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this pre-release primer. I didn't go over any of the like removal in the set or what you need to watch out for. I did highlight a handful of things which I hope you'll look out for. Arrival of the Hero is a big one. You might see a lot of that. There's just a lot of stuff that could go wrong if you're attacking into stuff. So just keep a fresh eye out. Stay frosty. Hope you guys' pools are really good. And it's pre-release, so have fun. That's it for me.